Well, that was a fun night, huh? Against the Braves, Sunday Night Baseball, Darvish on the mound, blowout, pretty stress-free game. Those are always great to have because it just doesn't seem like there's a ton of them for the Padres this year. I just saw they flashed a graphic up that the Padres have like the tied second best road record in either the NL or all of Major League Baseball. So they continue to play well on the road. Why not the Padres just have their entire schedule be against good NL contending teams on the road? Because if that was the case, they'd be like the best team in baseball. Because, I mean, just look at the games on the road against the Dodgers. You win that series. Hopefully, they can take one of the two games of the doubleheader tomorrow. And even if they don't, you still at least split this series. And I think we got to start. Sure, the offense scored 9 runs, but Darvish has been so freaking good coming off the IL. He has not allowed a run since he came off the IL. And tonight did everything that he could to get that win. And he obviously deserved that. His, as the broadcast obviously said a bunch, his 200th professional win combined with Japan and Major League Baseball goes 7 innings tonight. 2 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 9 punchouts. His ERA is down to 2.08. And obviously entering the year, right, he was one of the keys to this Padres season. I think Musgrove is one of the keys as well, Dylan Cease, because you just don't know what you're going to get from Michael King, don't know what you're going to get from that 5 spot, at least on a consistent base. Like, can those guys be consistent? But Darvish, Musgrove, Cease, you go into a playoff series with those guys, and those guys are pitching well, and you have some sort of confidence in the bullpen, and then you have Michael King that could turn into a relief guy if you need it. That puts you in a really good spot because like there's the talent in the lineup obviously as well. And as we saw in 2022, it's not about how you played the entire year, but like, do you have the starting pitching, which the Padres, they kind of ran out of there in 2022 in the NLCS. That got them into trouble. Do you have that starting pitching? Are you playing well at that time? And obviously, we don't know what the answer is going to be to that question. But when you keep seeing these matchups against the Braves, I know there's injuries, Sean Murphy, Travis d'Arnaud, Austin Riley. I'm not trying to ignore that. Acuna's not playing well. I'm not trying to ignore that this isn't the best Braves team, but they're still 10 games over 500. They're still the Atlanta Braves. There's still definitely talent on that team. Let's not forget, I know there was the postponement yesterday, but the day before, this team went and beat Max Fried. You know, it's one thing to beat Bryce Elder, blow the Braves out here tonight, but it's another to beat Max Fried, and they did it. And the Padres, they won the Tyler Glasnow game, right, against when Michael King was on the mound facing him. So they've shown that they can beat good pitching. It's just a matter of can they do it when it matters the most. And right now, I guess right now is when it matters the most, right? Because they've got to get into the postseason. But obviously, when I say when it matters the most, obviously I mean postseason time. But yeah, Darvish, he has just been so spectacular. And this is the guy that the Padres need this year. Not just postseason time, but consistently throughout the year. I'm not saying that he's going to go 7 shutout innings every outing, and I don't think that should be the expectation. But be a frontline guy. They gave him this extension. Don't know how many more of like Darvish great years are left in the tank for you, but they gave him it in part because he cares so much, right? Like the care factor's there. And what I mean by that is like his ability, even though if he's not going to blow you away, like when the velocity goes, he's still going to have a bunch of pitches. He's still going to be creative. And there's that pairing, obviously, him and Ruben Niebla, that seems to be working really well. So yeah, I couldn't be happier with what I'm seeing from Darvish. Fastball, breaking balls, location up, inside, down, out. I mean, even in the 7th inning, that breaking ball to Marcell Ozuna, freaking nasty. So keep that up, you. And then in the bullpen, Morejon goes an inning. Obviously, the velocity's there up at 97. So for the most part, he's looked good this season. And then offensively with homers from Croney, from Campy, from Kim, Tatis, I mean, how he got to that ball down and away and hit it off the wall like that, that's just a great piece of hitting there. You know, it's not the Luis Ariz piece of hitting, but it's the, okay, you got to that ball, and then the strength that Toddy has to get that ball off the wall. Just super impressive what I saw from the offense tonight. And I get it. those that want to doubt the Padres, they're going to say it was against Bryce Elder and they don't care. But the Padres, they've been competitive against, now the Phillies, they got swept, but they've been competitive against the Dodgers, against the Braves. Like the top teams, for the most part this year, they've done well against. And so the Padres now, with these 2 straight wins, they're back to 500. We'll see what happens with the doubleheader. But another thing with Darvish tonight, which was so good, was the effect that it has, because we got the doubleheader and then the Cincy series. Today, I was hoping they'd get 1 run across so that that Schilt could use a position player in that 9th inning, so Kolek didn't have to get used. But when you look at it, there was the day off yesterday, and then there was the day off today for essentially all of the bullpen. I know Morahone pitched, but he could go back-to-back days if you need him to. Matsui, Suarez, Peralta, De Los Santos, Brito, Estrada, all of them did not pitch today. And so with the day off yesterday, day off today, so Suarez, Matsui, all of those guys that I just listed, they've had 2 days rest. Peralta, Brito, those 2 guys have had more than the 2 days rest. So the bullpen, it's in a good spot. It's pretty much in the best spot that you could have it going into a doubleheader day tomorrow. And then 3 games against Cincinnati before the Yankee series. Yankees, by the way, they're playing really good baseball on a big winning streak, which, I mean, it's shown that it doesn't really matter because the Dodgers were on a big winning streak coming into the Padres, and the Padres went and took that series. So obviously what we got to worry about now is right now. And this team, when they play, it's like, and we've seen this in the past with Padres teams, right? And it's frustrating. It seems like they play down to their competition when you're playing the Rockies, but then they play up to the competition when they're playing the Dodgers, when they're playing the Braves. And so that's great come postseason time if you make the postseason, but they've got to make the postseason, obviously. That's the thing. So happy night tonight, and then I'll have a show tomorrow, obviously, after the series. No Musgrove, but it's going to be Cease and Vasquez, so you're in a good spot. You should be in a good spot to at least take 3 out of 4 in this series. Hopefully they can win that first game, and then they get a start out of Vasquez before they probably send him down to make room for Joe coming up on Tuesday for that Cincinnati series. But yeah, leave your thoughts in the comments. Great night. Bogarts, by the way, I did want to shout him out because obviously there's been a lot of criticism of him, and rightfully so. It's been deserved. He hit the ball really hard tonight. Didn't get a ton of results from it, but he did hit the ball hard. 1 for 4 night for him. Manny had a couple hits tonight, scored a run. So there was a lot of production from a lot of different people. Arise with a couple of hits tonight. Merrill with a hit. Campy, obviously, with the homer. Kim had a couple of hits. So really, all around, good performance tonight.